your YouTube channel really struck a chord with me, especially the series about reading in Italian, and especially the video with the title "Reading in Italian Until I'm Fluent," because I'm also a learner of Italian, and I am reading a lot these days.
Yeah.
So I want to make this the focus of this episode.
Yeah.
First off, would you please introduce yourself a little bit, Sarah?
Yeah, so I'm Sarah. I'm 19. I currently live in London. I've lived here for about 11 years. My first language was French, so I did live in France until the age of 8. And then we moved to London, so English is my second language. And I am studying biochemistry at university at the moment. I'm in my second year. But on the side, learning languages is something that I spend most of my time doing. It's a real passion of mine.
Cool. So being at university, is this something that hinders you from learning languages, or does it support you?
Well, at times I can say it can distract me. But I did find a way around that because alongside my course, they've made available, this year we had to take them, little courses on the side to make us more well-rounded people, let's say, and not just scientists, science-minded. And so I chose Italian. So I get to do Italian once a week for 2 hours at uni. So I did find a way to incorporate languages.
I see. Yeah, and it is so cool that you know 4 languages, right?
Well, Spanish, I am rushing up on it. I'd say my speaking isn't great. It's not where I want it to be. So I'm practicing with the native speaker on italki. It's a great site to get to speak with natives. But yeah, this is my 4th language venture.
And in the realm of language learning, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
So I love it when I'll meet someone who speaks the language, a native, and I'll speak to them in their language. And I love the way their look changes. That for me is the biggest accomplishment. They just look at me differently. They're more open and more receptive to what I'm about to say next because I know their mother tongue. And I just love that.
Yeah, that is cool. So now let's talk about your passion, reading in Italian until you are fluent. So let's talk a little bit about the backstory of that. Could you explain a little bit your YouTube channel and especially your series?
Yeah. So this started this summer. I went to Italy. I went to the south in Lecce to visit some family friends, and I was there for a month. And I had never spoken Italian in my life, never tried to speak Italian or learn it. But I just fell in love with the way they would express themselves. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to learn. And in the airport on the way back home, we went to, the duty-free stores, the little stores in the airport.
Yeah.
And I was looking through the books and I was like, oh, maybe I should get a book and push myself and read. So the book I picked was completely random, and it was because I liked the cover. There was no process of choosing. I just liked the cover and I picked it up. It wasn't too long, so I was like, okay. I took it home and I hadn't opened it for about 2 weeks. It was just in my suitcase, in my bag. I had not touched it. And then the idea just came to me. I was like, why not film myself reading? Because a lot of the language channels will show you tips after they've learned the language, but they won't show you the process. And I thought it might encourage others to learn if they saw how I failed through my learning. And so, I just got on the camera and started reading in Italian.
Yeah, that is so cool because it takes courage to do so, in my opinion, because
Thank you.
Because I think when you started out with your videos, you were only like 2 months in your studies, right?
Yes.
So weren't you a little bit afraid of of doing this project?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I'd get a lot of native Italians in the comments, like angry at me. Why am I butchering the language? I didn't expect such a positive turnout, but I thought it would help me and it would help others, so I didn't mind doing it. And yeah, at the end of the day, people did like it, and I was able to grow a little learning community, which was my goal. Because I don't have a lot of people around me that like learning languages, so I had to go out and find people.
Yeah.
But
So then the book at the airport was Come una notte a Bali, right?
sì, esatto.
And so this is a novel, right? So it's not specifically tailored for language learners.
No, it's just a book like you and me would read in English or in our native tongue. It's not veered towards beginners at all. But it's not that difficult to read, in my opinion.
And do you think, because you already know a bunch of languages, and do you think it's easier for you to get the meaning of let's say some of the vocabulary because you can draw from other languages and then probably even guess the meaning?
Yeah, definitely. I think French has helped a lot because of the sentence structure or the type. We use a lot of the same verbs as auxiliaries or, helper verbs and things like that. So the way they're conjugated is very similar. So it does help me. Yeah, I didn't find a lot. Well, Spanish and Italian are similar, but I found more similarities in my brain between French and Italian. So I'd say French has definitely helped.
Okay, and can you please show us or explain to us a little bit how the video process looks like, or how you go about it?
Mhm.
I mean, do you read and then what do you do? Can you explain a little bit in more detail?
Yeah. So I don't read the page or the section before I film because I want you guys to see the mistakes. I want it to be,
Mhm.
kind of live, raw footage. So yeah, I just set up my camera and then I kind of explain what I do on my channel for new people who don't know what I do. And then I start reading, and for real, as I would read by myself, I try to understand what's going on, highlight words I don't understand, and then at the end of I do cut off the camera to go and research the words that I don't know, to then come back and be able to explain them. Yeah, that's my process.
And then you put all the vocabulary words in the show notes as well,
Yes, I
right?
put them under the video so that if you guys want to make flashcards out of them or anything, then you have them there already.
And also I saw that some parts of it you even do subtitles in English as well as in Italian. So it's really useful to see both subtitles at the same time.
Yeah,
How
I've
do
got
you
a
do
great
that? Is it
editor. I've got a great editor. I use CapCut to edit my videos. And so it's got auto captions and I can choose a second language. Sometimes I do go through them because I've noticed also if I use subtitles in French, it will be a bit wrong. It's not completely right. So I do go over and check some of them sometimes. But yeah, a good editor.
And what do you think? How can other learners benefit from this series? I mean, how can they make the best out of it? Do they just watch it, or what are the different approaches maybe?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say being active in your learning is the most important thing. So my videos could be a form of encouragement. You could start by reading with me if you're not sure where to start. But I'd say doing work outside of that would be helpful. Maybe practicing your grammar or spending time listening to songs and learning them. I did show on a few videos my process of learning Italian songs, kind of, looking at the lyrics of them and trying to get more vocabulary. So there is more than reading behind my videos. But I think it's a great starting point for any beginner.
And what about the form of the books? Do you prefer the digital version over the physical version, or what is your take on that?
So the people on my book club will know, because I did let them know. I prefer having the physical copy. I'm old-fashioned like that. I like to feel the book, feel immersed in the story. But sometimes it is more convenient to have it online. But my first choice would be a physical copy.
And you mentioned the book club. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Because it's, again, something different from the Reading Out Loud series, right? So
Yes.
it's a new project.
Yes. So I thought that anyone watching the videos or anybody that wanted to feel part of a learning community and kind of wanted to be held accountable for reading could join the club. My plan with it is that we each read a book that we've chosen, one book a month, but individually, and then we'll meet at the end or at the start of the month, haven't really decided yet, and kind of discuss how we found the book. And my goal is to speak as much Italian during that meeting as possible, so we can kind of, get out of our comfort zones together. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's awesome. I have also assigned to the Facebook group.
Yes,
because you have started a Facebook group, and I am really curious how this will turn out.
Me too.
And and maybe you can tell us which book you are covering at the beginning.
Yes. So I put on the group. This is more aimed towards beginners. So people can just get warmed up to being in the group and what reading consistently would look like. So this book has 8 short stories in Italian, and I think it's by Olly Richards. I think that's the author.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong. And after each story, there's a little exercise to kind of see how much of the story you comprehended and understood, which I think was great for a beginning. But going forward, I would like to choose the book with the people in the group.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And so you are not aware of other YouTube channels that are doing something similar, like you do with your Reading Out Loud series?
I haven't really had a look around. I know authors sometimes will read their own books and kind of talk about what's going on in their stories. But I don't really have a lot of time. So
yeah,
I just film my videos and then go learn. I also have uni work to do. So yeah, I haven't really had a look around yet.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah. I really look forward to it. And I wanted to ask you, so what is your favorite expression in Italian?
Okay, so I had someone comment under one of my videos wishing me luck on my journey to learn Italian. And that person said, "In bocca al lupo," which I was very confused because I was like, what does "in the mouth of the wolf" mean? I didn't understand. And so I looked it up, and it's the way Italians say good luck. And the way you would answer is "crepi il lupo," which means I will kill it. I will kill the wolf.
Okay.
I'll do great,
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
And what about maybe your favorite expression in English? Do you have a favorite expression or something a phrase that you're using regularly that comes to mind?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But when I was first learning English, my dad was the main English speaker in our household. And when we would, just play around, he'd say, "Are you pulling my leg?" Which I always thought was hilarious as a kid because I didn't know what it meant. But it meant, "Are you joking with me?" So I'd say that one. I have a fond memory of that one.
Yeah, I love that one as well. And because I have a second podcast, which is called The Vocab Man, in which I explain different vocabulary in English so that I can learn. And at the same time, I can teach these words to others. So it's a little bit like your channel, because you are also learning and at the same time you teach others.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Okay. So thank you very much. Do you want to add something? Any final words?
I want to say thank you for letting me come onto your podcast. It's been really fun. Yeah, and it's great to speak to someone who watches my videos.
Yeah. And of course, I will put the links in the show notes. And of course, if there are any learners of Italian out there who want to participate with Sarah, and it would be really cool to join. And yeah, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Yeah, you're all welcome. And I won't stop at Italian. So if anybody's on their road to polyglottism or wants to learn more than one language, it'll come soon on my channel.
So that means you're doing an Italian book club, and in the future there will be more languages.
Yes, hopefully. Yes. I've had a lot of response for English as well, which I think is a good shout.
Cool. Okay, thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, on this channel, you're just going to find fun ways to learn foreign languages, because the goal is to be a polyglot, and I'll probably be learning a language that you want to learn, or one of your native languages very soon. So yeah, stick around on this channel if you think you'd like my content.